The moment you decide to rise, life seems to throw every test your way. Distractions multiply. Doubters speak louder. The path grows lonelier before it ever gets brighter. That isn't bad luck. That's the price of real growth. Growth is forged in quiet hours when no one's watching, and success only follows those who refuse to quit on themselves. Marcus Aurelius put it, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Most people want the rewards, the applause, the title. Very few are willing to endure the discipline, the solitude, and the slow, invisible building that true transformation demands. That's where most people turn back. Think of a tiny seed buried deep in the earth. No one applauds it, no one sees its struggle. Yet day by day, it pushes through darkness, gathering strength in silence until it breaks into the light. That is your journey, quiet, patient, relentless. Growth that doesn't ask for permission and doesn't need validation to continue. Stoicism isn't about outshining others. It's about becoming stronger than the version of yourself you were yesterday. That strength is built step by step, moment by moment. Never rushed, never flashy, but always moving forward, even when no one notices. In this lesson, you'll learn 8 practical Stoic rules. Not ideas to admire, but tools to use. Tools to shape your discipline, your focus, and your inner standards. So success eventually has no choice but to come knocking. Welcome to Stoic Philosophy Daily, where your story matters. Share below what your biggest morning struggle is. Every comment is a gift. We read with care, answer with heart, and treat your journey as part of our own. This is more than a channel. It is a circle of strength. If you're ready to focus so intensely on your own growth that success can't ignore you anymore, don't just listen. Practice. Drop your promise in the comments. My growth will attract my success. 1. Discipline is the root of freedom. Everyone wants freedom, but few realize where real freedom is actually born. It doesn't come from doing whatever you want, whenever you want. It comes from discipline, from mastering yourself when no one is watching. True growth doesn't begin with talent or luck. It starts with the quiet moment you promise yourself, "I will show up even when I don't feel like it." Epictetus said it plainly, "No man is free who is not master of himself." We're taught that freedom means no limits. But without discipline, you become a slave to moods, excuses, and endless distraction. Discipline is not a cage. It is the structure that unlocks every door you want to walk through. Ask yourself honestly, how many dreams have you delayed, waiting for motivation or the right mood? How many times have you traded your long-term vision for the comfort of the moment? Each time you stay, freedom moves further away, not closer. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. It doesn't negotiate. It asks one simple question: what needs to be done? Then it demands action, regardless of how you feel. This is where progress separates itself from intention. Think of discipline like a muscle. At first, waking up early or choosing growth over comfort feels unnatural and heavy, but repetition changes the nervous system. What once required effort becomes familiar. Familiar becomes automatic, and one day, discipline no longer feels restrictive. It feels like freedom. You stop relying on willpower and start living by your highest standards. The Stoics understood this clearly. You cannot control the world, but you can always control yourself. Your actions, your habits, your responses. When you show up with discipline, especially on your worst days, you build a life where success no longer depends on luck. It becomes inevitable. Every act of discipline is a step toward real freedom. At Stoic Daily, we believe consistency, not comfort, creates a life worth living. Type below, "Discipline is my freedom." 2. Patience builds real strength. In a world addicted to speed, patience has become a rare advantage. Everyone wants results overnight: fame, fortune, growth. But the truth is simple. Every mighty oak tree was once a tiny acorn buried in dirt, growing in silence, unseen for years. Nothing strong announces itself while it's being built. Patience is not weakness. It is discipline in its quietest form, the discipline to keep showing up when no one is watching. When results are invisible, quitting would be easier than continuing. Seneca said it plainly: time reveals what's real. Everything that truly lasts, strength, wisdom, character, needs time to take root. Consider the individuals you truly respect. None of them arrived overnight. They endured setbacks, worked for years without applause, and built resilience by trusting the process long before the outcome was visible. Their strength wasn't rushed. It was earned through endurance. Impatience is the silent killer of potential. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They quit because progress feels slower than their expectations. Ironically, success is often just beyond the point where most people give up. Patience is what carries you past that edge. This is the Stoic move. Focus only on what you control: your daily actions, your attitude, your commitment. Release the need to control the timeline. Show up anyway, day after day, rain or shine. This is where real strength is formed, quietly and consistently beneath the surface. Patience is not waiting. It is relentless, invisible growth. At Stoic Daily, we believe patience is the hidden force behind every victory worth having. Where do you need to trust the process and stay patient this week? Share below. 3. Control your mind, control your path. The greatest battles are fought in silence, inside your own mind. Every single day, you face a quiet choice. You can listen to the doubts, fears, and old mental scripts pulling you backward, or you can begin shaping a new reality by training your thoughts with intention. Most people live as prisoners of their own thinking. Anxiety, insecurity, and past experiences quietly decide what they believe is possible. The Stoics understood something most people miss: the mind is the ultimate stronghold. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If your thoughts are undisciplined, your life will feel the same. Your thoughts shape your day, your mood, and eventually your direction. When negative thinking runs unchecked, it cuts deep grooves of doubt and hesitation. But when you challenge those thoughts, replacing 'I can't' with 'I will learn' and 'this is impossible' with 'let's try,' you begin building mental strength that external chaos can't easily break. Picture your mind as a garden. Every fear, every what if, is a weed competing for space. Every deliberate thought you plant is an act of reclaiming control. This isn't positive thinking fantasy. It's a daily discipline. Observe the thought. Question it. Replace it. Over time, the garden changes. Look at anyone who overcame the odds. Athletes returning from injury. Entrepreneurs who failed, then rebuilt. Artists who created in obscurity long before they received recognition. Their external victories always followed an internal one. They refused to let setbacks, criticism, or the past decide their next chapter. Here's the shift that changes everything. You are not a passive passenger in your mind. You are the driver. Every time you turn "this setback defines me" into "this is feedback for my growth," you redirect your path. Momentum follows mindset. When you control your inner narrative, the world outside loses its power to knock you off course. Progress begins the moment you choose which story to feed. The voice you strengthen becomes the life you live. One thought at a time, you shape your future. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. At Stoic Daily, we believe mastering your mind is the foundation of a life that truly belongs to you. What thought will you rewrite today? Share below. For consistency is stronger than intensity. Greatness is not built by bursts of effort or rare flashes of motivation. It's built by steady, consistent action. Most people chase intensity, grand gestures, all-nighters, sudden transformations. But the Stoics understood something deeper. Real, lasting change grows from the small, disciplined actions you repeat every day, especially when no one is watching. Think of your mind as a garden. If you leave it unattended, weeds take over, distraction, negativity, doubt. They don't need permission to grow, but when you show up daily, planting seeds of discipline, gratitude, and focus, the ground begins to change. Growth becomes predictable, not accidental. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that when the mind is clear, disciplined, and focused, life begins to mirror that internal order. You don't need to wait for inspiration to strike. You need a daily practice, a routine that trains your attention, sharpens your purpose, and keeps you aligned even on ordinary days. Consistency is rarely glamorous. There's no applause when you keep a promise to yourself, turn down temptation, or repeat the basics one more time. But these small, uncelebrated actions compound. Over time, they create results so solid they no longer need explanation. The Stoics viewed self-mastery as a daily practice, not a one-time breakthrough. They didn't leave the gate open for every doubt or fear. They watched their thoughts like gardeners, removing what weakened them, reinforcing what mattered, trusting that small choices repeated long enough shape big outcomes. Here is your Stoic training. Choose one small habit: writing, walking, reading, learning, reflecting. Commit to it every day for 1 week. Don't chase perfection. Chase consistency. Let repetition build momentum instead of relying on motivation. Consistency is the quiet force that makes success inevitable. At Stoic Daily, we believe daily practice is the seed of every real transformation. What is one habit you will show up for every day this week? Share below. 5. Silence protects your growth. True progress doesn't need an audience. When you are building something real, new habits, new strength, a new identity, the wisest move is often the quietest one. Guard your energy. Keep your goals private. Focus on the work itself, not the applause that comes too early. External chaos, criticism, and setbacks will always exist. You don't eliminate them by explaining yourself. You protect yourself by choosing silence. Silence becomes your shield. It gives your growth time to develop roots before you expose branches to the world. Most people leak energy by oversharing, seeking validation, or narrating every step they take. That noise invites doubt, distraction, and judgment before progress is ready to stand on its own. Picture your growth like a seed pushing through the soil. Underground, in silence, strength is forming. Clarity sharpens, momentum builds. When no one is watching, you make your real gains. As the work continues, setbacks feel smaller, doubts lose their grip, and your focus becomes harder to shake. Negative thoughts will still appear, fear will still whisper, but quiet discipline catches those thoughts early before they take root. Instead of defending yourself or reacting to every voice, you stay on your path. This is where most people lose momentum. They invite too many opinions into a process that requires patience and restraint. You don't. The Stoic move is to become the architect of your own journey. Build quietly, refine deliberately. Let the results speak for themselves in their own time. Silence isn't avoidance, it's preparation. Growth thrives in silence before it shines in the public eye. At Stoic Daily, we believe the strongest roots are planted out of sight. What goal will you protect and nurture in silence this week? Share below. 6. Resilience turns pain into power. Everyone faces pain, setbacks, and disappointment. That part of life is unavoidable. The real difference is what happens next. Most people let failure define them. They turn setbacks into permanent scars and carry them forward. But the Stoics saw pain differently. To them, pain was raw material, something that could be shaped, refined, turned into wisdom and strength. Think of trees that bend in violent winds but never snap. Their strength isn't rigidity, it's depth. Their roots have been tested by storms, season after season, and each one makes them harder to uproot. You carry that same capacity. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." What strains you today is also what prepares you for tomorrow. When life knocks you down, the choice is rarely obvious in the moment. You can surrender to bitterness, or you can decide that pain will not be the author of your story. Stoic resilience doesn't deny hurt. It acknowledges it, then asks better questions. What can this teach me? What patience, strength, or perspective is being forged here? Every honest answer builds inner muscle. Look closely at anyone who has achieved lasting success. Athletes after injury, creators after rejection, leaders after a crisis. The comeback always traces back to a moment of deep pain where quitting was an option, but growth was chosen instead. Pain didn't disappear, it was redirected. Begin to see setbacks as stepping stones, not stop signs. Channel the energy of frustration, loss, or disappointment into discipline and learning. Each time you do, resilience grows stronger, and with it, fear of the next storm begins to fade. Adversity is fuel. Resilience turns it into power. At Stoic Daily, we believe every storm you outlast becomes a source of strength you can draw from for life. What pain are you ready to turn into power this week? Share below. 7. Consistency is stronger than intensity. Anyone can go all in for a day. Anyone can burn bright for a week. That kind of intensity feels powerful in the moment. But real growth is built on something quieter. Returning again and again when no one is watching, when motivation fades, when the work feels ordinary instead of exciting. Success does not belong to the intense. It belongs to the consistent, to those who show up rain or shine, not chasing emotions but building habits so deep that they eventually become an identity. This is the secret the Stoics lived by. They didn't rely on surges of energy. They relied on structure and repetition. Epictetus said it clearly. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Decide who you want to become, then let your daily actions confirm that decision. Identity is not declared. It is proven through repetition. Stop chasing motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Build momentum instead. Small steps, repeated daily, create a force that compounds quietly until results can no longer be ignored. What feels insignificant today becomes defining over time. Look at any champion, artist, or builder you admire. Their success wasn't created in a single highlight moment. It was formed by showing up on hard days, quiet days, boring days. This invisible work is what creates unstoppable momentum when opportunity finally appears. Here is your Stoic move. Choose one habit and commit to it for 30 days, no matter how small it seems. Don't negotiate with excuses. Make consistency your identity, not intensity. Intensity fades. Consistency transforms. At Stoic Daily, we believe greatness is built through steady steps, not single leaps. What habit will you show up for no matter what? Share below. 8. Focus creates unstoppable momentum. Focus is not about working harder. It's about working sharper. In a world saturated with noise, notifications, and endless distractions, the rare ability to direct your energy toward one clear target is what makes progress unstoppable. Picture a river cutting through solid rock. It isn't brute force that shapes the stone, it's persistence. Drop after drop, day after day, never rushing, never quitting. That is how focus works. Quiet, deliberate attention applied long enough reshapes what once felt immovable. Most people scatter their effort. They chase new ideas, switch goals midstream, or let every interruption pull them off course. Energy leaks everywhere, and momentum never has time to form. The Stoic path is different. Choose what matters most. Cut away what doesn't. Then bring your full attention to the task in front of you. Even small steps, when taken with sustained focus, begin to compound. Obstacles that once felt overwhelming slowly lose their resistance. Consistency paired with focus turns slow progress into momentum that feeds itself. This is the mindset shift. Don't wait for perfect timing or a surge of motivation. Show up anyway. Focus on the process in front of you. Like the river, you may not see change every day, but over time your direction becomes undeniable. What once blocked you begins to give way. Focused effort, repeated daily, makes the impossible inevitable. At Stoic Daily, we believe mastery of focus creates momentum stronger than force ever could. What one goal will you give your full, undivided focus to this week? Share below. Your growth, your legacy. True success is never handed to you. It's built through daily discipline, sustained focus, and the courage to keep growing when it feels hardest. You've just walked through 8 Stoic rules that don't merely inspire progress. They create the conditions where success becomes inevitable, as long as you keep showing up. Growth is like carving a statue from raw stone. No single strike completes the work, but every small action, every decision to persist, every moment you choose patience, silence, or self-mastery chips away at what holds you back. What remains is the strength that was already there, waiting to be revealed. No storm, no setback, no moment of doubt can erase what you've built with your own hands, day after day. Legacy is not created by luck or timing. It's shaped in quiet moments when no one is watching, and you choose to continue anyway. So here is your challenge. Choose one rule and live it every day for the next week. Don't announce it. Don't perform it. Build it quietly and relentlessly. Let your actions speak until your results no longer need explanation. If this lesson resonated with you, leave your commitment in the comments below. Like the video and share it with someone who needs this message. Every story you share is a gift. We read, we respond, and your journey strengthens the entire circle. This is Stoic Philosophy Daily, where growth is earned, discipline becomes identity, and your daily actions shape the legacy you leave behind. Keep building, stay resilient.
If you're seeking more, discover the full path on my channel, Stoic Philosophy Daily.